The Federal Military and Overseas Voter Empowerment Act, or otherwise known as MOVE, it was signed into law last fall by President Obama on October 28th.
The MOVE Act is a federal law that covers absentee voting by members of the U.S. Armed Services and United States citizens living overseas. The MOVE Act is enhancing already existing federal law called UOCAVA, which governs the absentee voting of these covered people. The MOVE Act requires that absentee ballots for armed services members and U.S. citizens living abroad have to be ready now 45 days before an election.
It does not affect deadlines in the Ohio Constitution, and it does not affect deadlines in a municipal or county charter. Boards are going to need to prepare to comply with all the provisions affecting these new uniformed services or overseas absent voter ballots, beginning with this general election this year, the November 2nd, 2010 general election.
Congress felt like that there was a big problem with the number of absentee ballots for UOCAVA voters that are not being counted because they're received back too late or not received at all. So they wanted to make sure that UOCAVA voters had the full 45 days before an election to get their ballot, to get it voted, and get it back.
A uniformed services or overseas voter must be permitted to, there's a list, request a voter registration application electronically from either the Secretary of State or the Boards of Elections, or the Board of Elections in the county in which the person's voting residence is located. They're also going to have to be permitted to receive the application through electronic means. You're going to have to permit them to express their preference in terms of how they receive that ballot. And what we mean by their preference, as it says on the slide, is they get to pick whether they want their ballot mailed to them or transmitted to them electronically. This is all going to be available through a free access system on the internet, or accessible through the internet for the eligible voters.
No voted ballots may be sent back electronically. Still going to be mail, you still need the original. So although you may have some that may attempt that, the MOVE Act and state law both prohibit that from occurring. It must be mailed. You'll be maintaining an access ballot tracking mechanism for the UOCAVA voters. What you're really going to see, and which we think is going to be an easy-to-use system for you, is the fact that there'll be an application that you'll be able to put in when you receive that application, when you sent that ballot out. And the voter will be able to see that from the website when they log in.
The boards of elections will now need to receive a completed voter registration form by electronic means. Some people have said, well, you know, if they've signed that and they sent it to us completed, how can we get the signature off the form? Approximately 59 out of 88 counties said that wouldn't be a problem just to lift that right out of the document electronically. The others indicated that if they were to print it off, just print it off the computer, they should be able to scan the printed copy, the same as if somebody had signed it, and capture that signature digitally. Now again, we realize there's degrees here. We will work with you on that.